Hi, it's Mrs. Neal. This week's bonus announcement is about job interview questions. One of the most important things you can do before a job interview is to practice. And by practice, I mean sitting down, thinking of the questions that you might be asked, and practice saying the answers to them. It may sound silly, but standing in front of a mirror and doing this is not unheard of. It's also smart to practice these questions with somebody you trust, like a parent or a good friend. Winging it just will not cut it on a job interview. And don't you want to feel more confident when you're actually in the interview? When you know the type of questions that interviewers are going to ask you and feel confident in your answers because you've thought of them ahead of time, you will do so much better in the actual interview itself. An important thing to know is that the interviewer is not your friend. So you need to make sure that you do not talk to them the way you talk to your friends. You need to speak in the type of language and voice that you would use in school with a teacher or with a business person in a transaction in a store. On the other hand, they're not your enemy either, and they do want you to feel comfortable during the interview. It's no fun for them if they have somebody who's sweating and is extremely uncomfortable in the chair across from them. They are not there to see you fail. Their goal is to hire the best person that they can as quickly as possible. You might be saying, why should I practice interview questions ahead of time? Everybody will have their own type of questions and their own ways of interviewing, but that thinking is not correct. Most of the people that you will interview with are mid-level managers or store owners who are not professional interviewers, and they have not been through interview training, and therefore they rely on the internet to look up and figure out questions that they want to ask people that are coming in for interviews. So it does make sense for you to know the top 10 or so most commonly asked questions in interviews. Their goal, remember this, is to get the best employee who will stick around and do a great job. And they're going to use interview questions that are commonly used. I know this sounds impossible now, but think of the interview as your chance to shine. After all, how many times do you get a chance to sit in a chair and tell somebody how great you are? Well, that's exactly what an interview is. One of the top 5 questions that you'll be asked on an interview is, why do you want this job? Your answer should be a combination of some of the following ideas. Not using this exact wording, but using the ideas that are represented here. For example, I need a part-time job to pay for my personal expenses. I'm saving money to buy a car. I need to save money for school. My family needs the financial help. All of these tell the interviewer that you're really interested in making money, and this is important for them to know because they know you'll show up for work and do a good job. Then the next questions or the next answers take sort of a different approach, and they tell the interviewer how you would fit into his or her environment. Here are some examples. I eat at your restaurant and I like the atmosphere and the people I've come in contact with. I shop at your store and like it and know I would fit in well here. I like dealing with people, and this job requires a lot of that. I think my people skills would allow me to do a good job here. I play sports, name any, so I would be a knowledgeable employee. And or I love to cook and want to learn more about it. So to summarize those answers, the idea in giving this answer is to match your skills and interests to what the employer wants. And it's also helpful for them to know that you want to earn money because employees that are motivated by money tend to show up and stick around. That's it for this week's first interview question. Next week I'll have another interview question. I would encourage you to practice with this question though, and practice with a friend. Go back and forth and see how you would answer it. And you can possibly even come up with some better answers than I've come up with here.